Hi, this video is sponsored by Amino Apps, specifically the official Creepypasta app. Chances are, since you're on this video, you enjoy a bit of Creepypasta, so this is the perfect place for you to go. Amino is simple to navigate, and the Creepypasta Amino hosts a wide array of content that should be relevant to your interests. You like looking at community-made art? Easy peasy. Look at this picture of Laughing Jack eating a lollipop. What's that about? Like polls? Who doesn't? Help creators decide on tough choices or rep your favorite classic creepypasta creature. Want to debate someone about your choice? Simply meet in one of the chat rooms at dawn and use text or speech as your pistols. Once you're signed up, feel free to follow me. I've actually hosted a poll on which story type is the best. I've already voted on mine. Link to my profile should be in the description.
I saw something swim next to me in the water. I don't care if you believe me, I saw its eyes. Tiffany from front end. 3:30. The snow fell for hours. We couldn't see the storm anymore. The entrances and exits to Costco were blocked for safety reasons. But we could certainly hear it. The wind and weight of the white stuff sent creaks and groans throughout the metal beams in the warehouse. Each unhappy grunt from the building's supports and a nervous rattle throughout our merry band of 15 remaining survivors. Costco had been good to us, but if the heat cut or our ceiling came down, we'd soon be on our own. A woman named Ellen held a bawling child in a judgmental gaze towards anyone who dared eye contact. After 2 hours of quiet, she broke the silence with a voice that sounded 2 seconds close to giving in altogether. Has anyone contacted the authorities? A few people grumbled their responses. The store manager, Kevin, spoke up the loudest. Retired an hour ago. No dice. Radios are down, phones are down. I think we all know why. We can't even see outside anymore. We're lucky to have power. Ellen considered this for a moment. Okay, I think we're all in agreement that we should not try to go outside. Ellen moved to hush her sniffling toddler. But we need to try and contact someone. A woman's dead. And if what the boy says about the accident's true... It's true, I interjected angrily. Then we should exhaust all our possibilities to let someone know what happened here. An elderly gentleman stood up from the floor and spoke in a confidently quaking tone. We could try the roof. Kevin moved to interject him while a few others shouted their agreement. Mitchell, come on. Nobody's going outside. It's too dangerous. He coughed a laugh.
Boy, if that roof is 100 feet off the ground, nothing would climb it for no reason. Plus, it's probably covered in snow.
Why go up there at all? We're safe here. Could see if the police are on the roads, Ellen offered. Could see if the neighborhood behind us still has power. We'll get a better view of things up there. I also don't like the way that the ceiling's creaking. If we could shovel some snow off, it would lessen the chance of it caving. It's too dangerous, Tiffany muttered. The group grew quiet. We all knew what that meant. I stood up.
Better do it now. Now I'll go. Anyone coming with me? Not a soul volunteered. The dripping of water against the hull of the store reflected an embarrassing and awkward silence. I can't help but think of it as shameful in retrospect. Naturally, Marcus's family protested when he stood up.
Daddy, no!
But the bright, kind man of only 35 said nothing. He just dusted off his jeans and followed me down the back hallway. I admired him for that, and I still do, even after everything. 3:45. We had to walk a while before we found the staircase to the roof. Mitchell led the way while Kevin and the rest stayed behind in the safety of our aisle fort. We took a few wrong turns here and there. At one point, poor old Mitch was sure he found it, but it ended up being the bathroom. After a seemingly endless search, finally, we landed 6 feet in front of the freezing cold exit to the roof. Mitchell snapped his fingers and turned to us like 2 new rookie employees.
We keep a heater by the outside door. It's a fire safety thing or something. Kevin got dinged for it a few years ago with the town inspector. Been paranoid about it ever since. Anyway, I thought that the heat should lessen the snow and ice enough to let you guys out.
Marcus nodded, approached the door, and pushed it with all of his might.
It's a pull, son. Good look out there. I mean it.
I laughed and pulled open the door. A river of cold water entered the building. "Shit, must be melting!" I shouted whilst climbing over the ice blocks that led outside. "That heater still works!" Marcus soon joined me. In an instant, we were over the frost-covering door entrance into the freedom of the outside space of the roof. The dipping sun looked beautiful against the pristine blanket of white. I tried to run forward, but my feet sank in the deep snow. I tripped and fell on my face just like Marion.
"We should be able to flag anyone down from here," shouted Marcus. "We can even get some of this shit off the roof."
He brandished the shovel over his head like a victory torch. I laughed. "We're not out of the woods yet. Can't even see our cars still." I pointed to the parking lot and the location of the accident. "Those people crashed over there." I pointed again to where the highway should be. "And look, nobody on the roads, just like I thought." Marcus nodded as an audible thud erupted from behind our backs. "Shit." My new friend turned and sprinted towards the door. "Mitchell, you motherfucker! I knew that dude was shady. Mitchell, open the fucking door! Open the fucking door!" Nobody answered. "Mitchell, what the fuck, dude? There's 4 feet of fucking snow out here. Let us in!" Nobody answered. "Is he really gonna..." I started. Marcus finished. "Yeah, he's gonna. That dude is racist as shit." I saw him looking at me and muttering under his breath. I saw him look at my wife. Probably locked the door to run off and go creep. He tried to catch his breath. Then, Marcus did something he would never live to regret. He went to toss the shovel off the roof. Call it a release of pent-up frustration or a childish tantrum or just a righteously pissed-off guy frustrated with his newfound lack of options. Regardless, he caught himself before he did it. He had the maturity to realize it was stupid. But when he went to throw, Marcus slipped on the slick ice and almost lost his footing. The snow on the ground was stacked up so high that it covered the safety railings. He went over the edge quicker than you would think. I ran over and screamed bloody murder. Expected to find my friend dead when I looked over the ledge. Instead, I saw that dumbass sitting on his butt looking back up at me.
100 feet my ass.
I laughed. It was so stupid and soul-crushing. You just had to laugh.
"How are we gonna get you back up? Can you make it back to the entrance?" "I could try, but they're not gonna let me back in."
"We'll make them." I tried to find a safer way to jump down and meet him. I knew the risks in that decision, and I knew what was out there. But I was damned if I was going to let my only friend become just another victim. I was damned if I was just going to watch another person die. Marcus called back up to me.
"Do you hear that? In the woods."
I did hear it. Trees and branches gave way somewhere in the forest to our right. I could see over them from my position, but I did not want to believe what I saw. I did not have the courage to even shout a warning to Marcus. I knew he didn't stand a chance. But when he looked up at me and called out, I think he understood. So did the bear. It never really slowed down after breaking through the tree line. Marcus tried to run away. Natural instinct says to run when a large animal approaches. Some people even say to run when faced with a brown bear. They usually only want to defend their territory. But this was no ordinary brown bear. On all fours, the creature still stood at least 5 or 6 feet tall. I could tell because it looked taller than Marcus, even from a distance. Both my friend and the bear struggled in the tall snow. For a sickeningly sweet moment, it looked like he might get away. But just as Marcus reached the snow-covered front door, He fell to his feet. The rest is history. I watched as the bear ripped limbs and pounds of flesh from Marcus's still shaking frame. He screamed for a while. He begged for his wife, for his babies, and then his mom, and his dad. All the pride and courage that encapsulated his entire presence disappeared before my eyes. I watched it all while my addled mind tried to wrap itself around another poor dying person. There's nothing I can do. The bear killed me too, I muttered to myself. There's nothing I can do. The bear killed me too. He could not hear me, of course. It's because his ears were being digested in the belly of the beast. I was the coward. I knew it then, and I know it now. 6:30. It was dark, so dark that it became difficult for my eyes to stay fixed on the rotten corpse of my friend. Well, there was nothing else to watch. The bear left and came back to pick at his remains. I could hear other animals approaching through the trees, scavengers likely with hellish and demonic attributes all their own. The bear roared them off so deafening it must have made the walls of the Costco shake. Then it returned to casually ingest the leg muscle of a good man. It was cold. So cold that the hopes of melting snow quickly evaporated into the setting sun. An ominous awareness of death encompassed the parking lot and the lonely rooftop around me. The streetlights still stayed on, amazingly, and that part I could not figure out. Either Costco kept up an impeccable maintenance schedule or power lines must be wind-proofed exponentially. The door was still locked. I tried it 1,000 times before the cold covered my hands so quickly that it actually hurt my fingers to fight with the metal. And so I sat, frostbitten, freezing, and welcoming a death that looked so much more peaceful than the horror that took place stories down below. I could hear my heart slow down. I could feel saliva freezing on my chin. I could smell nothing now. Not for hours. It wouldn't be much longer now. First my extremities would go. Then my heart. The cold would encompass me and freeze my body in the lifelong beauty of a sacred kid of 25 who didn't want to die. And I was all right with that. At least all right with the logic of it. It was certainly better than the thought of that fucking animal eating me alive. But just as the hollows of my mind started to turn out the last few lights, and moments before the last few firing neurons said goodnight, a white window of hope appeared somewhere to my right. Footsteps crunched steadily over the snow stacked several feet high. A stranger appeared in front of my eyes. I do not know how or why. I suppose frostbite can do that to a guy. He looked to be no older than 45. He wore a short-sleeve office shirt, clean jeans, with perfectly parted blonde hair and a blue tie. He spoke with a sudden drawl and a deep-seated boredom for the peril surrounding us that night. "Good evening. Get up. We don't have time."